So good evening, everyone. So welcome everyone in person and in online. You all know that during this weekend we will be doing Green Tara retreat, and as it mentions, it will be combinations of some talks, teachings, and then practice. And in the past, I think when we first started retreat, I think we did a lot of teachings. But I think in the last 3-4 years, I've changed the format a little bit. Less teaching, more practice. And I think that is what, and I think that is what I'm going to do so that we can be able to kind of feel and really engage into the practice itself. Okay, so as usual, as always, we will start with a short breathing, mindful breathing exercise to quiet our mind, to settle down our mind, and to bring our mind in moment present. Try to make yourself relaxed, comfortable. If possible, keep your back straight. And as you inhale and exhale naturally, try to observe mindfully of inhaling and exhaling and being aware of that. Simply observing and being aware. Once your mind is settled down, try to generate good intentions. For example, we can contemplate that our life will be a great loss and waste of time and potential if we are unable to give back to the society, to the world, from where we receive so much, to the sentient beings from whom we receive so much kindness and support and help. If we only think of our own well-being and totally ignore the well-being of others, that would be great lost pity, unfortunate. Therefore, the purpose of my life is to be as much help, benefit to others as much as possible. Directly, indirectly, helping to reduce the pain and sufferings and eliminate the suffering of others, as well as the cause of the suffering. And then to be able to support directly, indirectly, to help them to achieve not only temporary happiness, but true inner peace and happiness, as well as the cause of all those happiness. And in order to be more help, benefit to others, we need to become more enlightened. The more enlightened you are, with more wisdom, more compassion, more skillful means to help others, and more activities and the capacity to help others, the more we are able to help and benefit others. And in order to cultivate those inner qualities and fully develop those inner qualities, that I'm going to practice the practice of Guru Tara, as well as listen to the talk on those practice, so that we can develop the same qualities that the Guru Tara has developed and to help countless sentient beings. In order to liberate all sentient beings from all their suffering and cause of suffering, and to guide them to ultimate happiness of fully awakened state, I myself first need to achieve the Guru Mother Tara's state of fully awakened. And to achieve that state, I must practice. For that reason, I'm going to practice as well as listen to the talk. Okay, so then you can do the
We'll begin with praise to Shakyamuni Buddha. To the founder, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the doer from the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. Homage to the Supreme Buddha, homage to the Dharma refuge, homage to the great Sangha, to all three ever devout homage, to all worthy of respect, bowing with bodies as many as all realms, atoms, and all aspects, with supreme faith I pay homage. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions, perform only perfect virtuous actions, subdue your mind thoroughly. This is the teaching of the Buddha. A star, a visual aberration, a flame of a lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew or a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning, a cloud. See conditioned things as such. Through these merits may sentient beings attain the rank of all-seeing, subdue the foe of false, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the waves of aging, sickness, and death. So now we'll offer them. Now we'll go to the 2 verses for the mandala. You take over. O holy and perfect pure Lama, from the clouds of compassion that form in the skies of your Dharma Kama wisdom, please release a rain of vast and profound Dharma precisely in accordance with the needs of those to be trained. Idam Gura Mandalam Yattam.
It's okay. Refuge and Bodhicitta. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the
Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merits I create through listening to the Dharma, may I become a Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings. Sangye Shodan Soki Chonamba Janshu Baru Dagni Kapsuchi Dagi Chonen Gepe Sonangi Drola Penshir Sange Drupa Sho Sange Shodan Soki Chonamba Janchu Badu Dagni Kapsuchi Dagi Chonen Gepe Sonangi Drola Penshir Sange Drupa Sho.
So, as I mentioned, the retreat is on Mother Tara, and Tara means, in Sanskrit, the Tara also means star, northern star, the star. And just like the northern star, that can give a directions for people who might be lost. They can find the directions through by looking at that what area. Same way, the Mother Tara is that who show you the path, who help you, those practitioners who are lost in samsara. The practitioners who are lost in samsara, that the Mother Tara, like the northern stars, she show you the path. She show you the directions. She help you to in your path to guide and show the path. In Tibetan, Tara is Dolma, just in Dolma, Dolma. And Dolma means liberator, liberator. The one who liberates the sentient beings from the oceans of samsara, who liberate the sentient beings from the suffering of oceans, ocean of sufferings in the samsara. And she's called mothers because one, she's in the form of female, external form, female form. So that's mother. Also, she's known as the mothers of all the Buddhas, where all the Buddhas arise from the Mother Taras. So again, she's called the Mother Tara, and mothers all the Buddhas. Taras, you see in the different scriptures, sutras and other scriptures, sometimes she's presented as a bodhisattva, sometimes she's presented as the fully enlightened Buddha. Just like you see Avalokiteshvara. Sometimes Avalokiteshvara is presented as a bodhisattva, sometimes as a Buddha. Same with Manjushri, Vasapanis. If we look at Sutra, in the Heart Sutra, Avalokiteshvara is presented as a bodhisattva. The great bodhisattva, Mahasattva, Avalokiteshvara, and that you can also like within the Buddha Shakyamuni, when he is giving teachings, the 8 bodhisattvas, those come in the form of 8 bodhisattvas, and like Avalokiteshvara, Manjushri, and all of that, But in essence, in reality, in essence, they all are enlightened beings, fully enlightened beings. Even the Maitreya, even though is enlightened beings, sometimes again in Sutta, sometimes Maitreya presented or manifest as a bodhisattvas. So you can understand the Buddhas can manifest in all the form. They can manifest, as a Sambhogakaya, in the form of Sambhogakaya, fully enjoyment body, or they can manifest as a Nirmanakaya for those sentient beings who doesn't have the same high realization to see them, who had obscuration, then manifest as Nirmana Kaya, And within the Nirmana Kaya, then sometimes they manifest as the Buddha Shakyamuni in the form of that. Sometimes they manifest in the form of bodhisattvas. And sometimes they can manifest as a very ordinary beings. From outside, he or she might look very ordinary beings, but he or she is enlightened beings, and they manifest in that ordinary form in order to help benefit certain sentient beings that need to be manifested in that form. Manifesting that form become more important to help that sentient being sometimes than manifesting in a, Buddha's real form. So whatever is more helpful and beneficial to liberate the sentient beings, they will manifest in those different forms. Okay, so I think that, and you can see Tara has many forms. Again, you don't have to be overwhelmed by that. Of course, in Mahayana, especially in Vajrayana, there are so many Buddhas, so many deities. Normally, the Buddha and deities in Tibetan is yidam, and deity is something that Buddha, but who is the personal meditations Buddha for one individual. So that is what I yidam. The Buddha is general for everyone, Buddha enlightenment. But someone has some kind of strong connection with particular deity, Buddha, whether it's Tara, whether it's Avalokiteshvara or Manjushri, or any other medicine Buddha or whatever, And when they take that Buddha as their personal, as the objects of meditations in their personal, strongly connected, strong connections, then that is normally, that is your idam. That become your deities. So as I was saying, so there are so many Buddhas or the deities, and within that, each of those deities, each of the Buddhas can have many different forms. If you notice, even the Charisa, Avalokiteshvara, has so many different forms. One form with 1,000 arms, with 11 heads. One form with 1 head and 4 arms. One form with 1 head and 2 arms. Another form that is riding on lion. And so there are so many different forms of Avalokiteshvara. They all are Avalokiteshvara. They all are the Buddha of compassion, but in different forms. You see that also with Manjushri, black Manjushri, yellow Manjushri, and many others, red Manjushri and many that. In the same way, Tara has also many manifestations, many forms. Of course, most common or most common, well-known or popular form is the green Tara and white Tara. But there are many other Taras. There's a red Tara, there's a blue Tara, there's a black Tara, there's a yellow Tara. And then there is Kurukula Tara in a Rathu aspect of the Tara. Siddhamani Tara, the highest yoga in the form of highest yoga Tantra. Like green Tara, white Tara, they are more with the Kriya Tantra, the Lord Tantra, part of the Lord Tantra, deities in practice. And within Tara, Siddhamata is related with highest yoga Tantras. So again, Tara has many different forms. In Eastern, it's the same Tara, but manifesting in different forms for different functionings in order to benefit different sentient beings who need the help of those different qualities and functionings of those qualities, you know. And then you also see 21 Tara, you know. And in some scripture, they describe 1,008 Tara as well. And 21 Tara, you know, also within 21 Tara, there are 21 Tara according to the Dibamkara Adisha's traditions, 21 Tara according to the another great Mahasiddhi, Surya Gupta from Kashmir, you know, those two traditions are quite more well known, you know. In the traditions of Adisha, the 21 Tara, they're all one face and two hands. But in the tradition of Surya Guptas, some of them have more than one face and more than two hands. Some of them, you know. So with again different colors, different implements, holding different mudras, you know. So again, but you don't have to be overwhelmed by that, you know. I always says, you know, because of our predispositions, because of our karma, because of our inclination and so forth, some individual might be more connected with one form of Tara than others. You know, not everyone might be able to connect with just one form of Tara. And so therefore, as long as you find something you connect and that you can relate, if you really practice that with your total devotions, with total faith, even if you don't practice all of them, when you are able to accomplish one, you accomplish all of them because in essence, they all are one. And that is one of the comments Adisha made. Little, when he came to Tibet, and he said, you Tibetans, you know, practice so many deities, 100 deities, 200 deities. And at the end, you don't achieve any one of them. You haven't accomplished any of those. We Indians rely on one deity. We accomplish one deity, and at the end, we accomplish all the deities, all the 100 deities. Because in essence, they're all the same. So I think it's a powerful, extremely powerful comment and teaching instructions. And, you know, sometimes, even when we come to the Dharma, sometimes we still come with this materialistic attitude, spiritual materialistic, you know. I've received that before. I've studied that before. I know that I want to hear something else, you know. I want to receive something new. I want to learn something new that I've not heard before. I want to receive some new teachings, information, new empowerments, new deities, new practice. Sometimes, just like external materials, we are not satisfied. After some time, we feel good about something when you have that. After some time, you feel this is old. I need something new to excite me. You know, and always running. something and sometimes even in our spiritual, sometimes it can be like that, we can still have that kind of, bring that spiritual materialistic attitude, always running after something that you have not experienced, that you have not heard, that you have not studied before, and sometimes that can also happen with the, um, yeah, practice, you know. Uh, so anyway, the point I'm making here, I think, because otherwise we get lost, coming back to the point. The point is, even though there are so many different forms of the taras and so forth, when you rely on one of them, such as green tara, and when you are able to accomplish that, then you will be able to achieve and accomplish all other taras. Because in essence, they all are same. It's the same. And like many others, spiritual, sometimes practitioners, highly realized practitioners, mahasiddhis, when they have achieved high realization, they have the visions of different deities. And when they have the visions of those deities, sometimes the deity could appear or manifest in different form than what is described before. Do you get it? And that is where sometimes the different deities, and from that on, then this new, according to the visions of that particular great mahasiddhis, then new form of manifestations of Tara or Avalokiteshvara or any other deities comes, based on some of the vision they have in their practice of those highly realized beings. But it is the same deity, but it just could manifest sometimes slightly different colors, sometimes slightly different forms, and that is why we have also like slightly different between 21 Tara according to the Adishas tradition, according to Surya Gupta traditions, like that. So, okay. Mata Tara, there is many different stories of origins of Mata Tara. Okay, the origin of the Tara. There's one book, I don't know whether it's been translated in English or not, but compiled by one of the great Tibetan master and scholar and Mahasiddhi, Taranatha, around 17th centuries. And he compiled many of the origin stories of the Tara and the practice and many of that. In that, one of the stories of Mother Tara is that long time before the Buddha Shakyamuni, okay? Long time before the Buddha Shakyamuni, and during one time, during the time of another Buddha, okay? Tara was born as a princess in the royal families, and she was very devoted She was very devoted to the Dharma, to the Buddhas. So she will invite and offer, meals and many other offerings to the Buddha and all his followers, sanghas, and the bodhisattvas for long times, and eventually she generated bodhicitta mind, and then the monks and the who were around the Buddha at that time of that Buddha. At that the Tara at that time, her name was Ishidawa, which means wisdom moon. And the monks saw her incredible devotions to the Dharma, incredible devotion to the Buddha, Sangha, Dharma, and her incredible generosity, compassions, and bodhicitta mind. And they advised, or they said, we will pray for you to have a male form in the next, and you should also dedicate your virtues to come as a man in the futures, And the monks say that because it was not easy to be a woman and to practice at that time. It's not because the potential they don't, it's not because they have less potential, but it is the society is very much predominated by the males. So women had, it was more harder for them. And so they face more challenges from the societies. And so I think that was one of the reasons why they commented that. And at the princess, the wisdom moon or the Tara at that time, she said, she said, there's no male and females. All these concepts, male and female, is just imputed by ordinary delusional mind, mistaken mind, In emptiness, there's no male and female. Everything is merely imputed by delusional mind. Or still, she says, still, I would like to achieve enlightenment in this form of woman, and I would like to help liberate and benefit sentient beings until the samsara ends in this female form. She said, there are so many others in the male form who are helping, benefiting as a bodhisattvas and Buddhas and so forth. But there is less of that in the form of female. And therefore, I will continue to come in the form of female until I achieve enlightenment. Not only until I achieve enlightenment and achieve in this form, but until each and every sentient being is liberated. Until the samsara ends, I will continue to come as a female form. So with that, even when she was on the beginning of the path, right at the very beginning path, she has incredible courages, incredible courage and confidence, So again, Tara stands for that. Tara represents the courage, the confidence, the hope, to overcome the challenges, difficulties, not afraid of the challenges and difficult, and not trying to run away from the challenge and difficult, but instead, even though it's more challenging in such circumstances, society, but she took that challenge and difficulties. And so that is her qualities. The Tara's inner qualities is that, the hope, the courage, the confidence, to not run away from the obstacle and challenge, but to overcome those challenges, those problems, those obstacles. And so that is what Tara represents. That is the quality that Tara represents, And therefore, we rely on Tara to help us, to guide us, to lead us, to overcome all the obstacles that we might face, all the problems, all the challenges, all the obstacles that we might face in our path, in our life, in our path. Because she represents that qualities, and all these qualities that has been complete and perfected, all these qualities such as hope, courage, confidence, all of that when it has been completed, perfected, then that is Tara, Mm. And that is, again, that's why she's known as Liberator Mother. Liberator Mother Tara, Protector Mother Tara. Another stories is that, Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara, with so much compassion, had incredible compassion to liberate all sentient beings. And he worked so hard to help to liberate sentient beings, And then when he looked in the ocean of samsara of sentient beings, even though he has liberated and helped so many sentient beings, but he felt like nothing has moved, because the sentient being is endless, countless. It's like when you are trying to take away buckets of water from the oceans. You might have taken 1 million of buckets of water, but when you look at the oceans, it still looks same. Still looks same. Nothing had changed. It doesn't seem like the ocean has decreased. Even though you have taken millions buckets from that, because it's so vast. Because it's so vast, similarly, the sentient beings are so vast, even though he has helped and liberated so many, still when he look back, it seems like almost like equal number of sentient beings there. It looks like needle has not moved, and he almost feel a little bit kind of discouraged, despair, little discouraged, in that moment, and then it mentioned tears drop from his eyes, and from that drop of the tears, lotus appear, and from the lotus, Tara appear, and then Tara says, don't be despair, don't lose hope, don't give up, I will help you to carry. I will support you. I will help you. I will support you to carry your work, compassionate work of helping, benefiting, liberating all sentient beings. And according to some of those stories or legend or myth of the origin of from the um, two from the tear from the two sides of eyes, one green Tara, one white Tara, and some it just mentioned Tara, doesn't mention about that. So again, whatever, but that is so. Therefore, Tara. Again, even with this story, the quality of the Tara. Giving the hope. Giving the hope. Giving the courage. Not losing the confidence, not giving up to liberate sentient beings, no matter no matter how many sentient beings there are, no matter how long it takes to liberate all sentient beings, and to carry out the works of the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, such as Avalokiteeshvaras. Therefore, also Green Tara, especially Green Tara in general, and Green Tara, is known as the Buddha of the um, the manifestations of these particular qualities of all the Buddhas, the enlightened activities. For example, Avalokiteshvara is known as the manifestation of all the compassions, Buddha's compassions, qualities. Manjushri is known as all the wisdom of all the enlightened Buddha's wisdom. Vajrapani is known as all the Buddha's inner qualities of the power. And Tara is known as the manifestations of all the Buddha's enlightened activities in that Tara's form. That quality, that inner qualities. What is the Buddha's activities? The Buddha's activities are out of this enlightened compassion and wisdom to act, to help and benefit sentient beings in whatever they need, to guide, to clear the obstacles. Help to clear the obstacles. Help to create the conducive conditions. Helping and supporting them to develop the realizations, helping them to free from the samsara and all the suffering, helping them to achieve fully enlightenment, and through different activities and whatever is most beneficial, needed for that individual practice at that time, according to their mental inclination state and so forth. So therefore, she becomes very important. How are we able to receive blessings, guidance, inspirations, help, support from the Buddhas? We receive all of that through the actions, through the activities. Through the actions, through the activities. So is the Tara. That is the Tara from whom we receive all the Buddha's activities. Even you are fully enlightened, even you are full wisdom, if you don't engage in the action activities to help, then you cannot help benefit others. So it's through the actions, it's through the activities that Buddha are able to reach and help and benefit sentient beings. And what is that qualities? What is the qualities that reach the sentient beings from the Buddha is that action, that activities. And within that activities, there are peaceful activities, extensions, empowering and wrathful. And there are many manifestations of all Tara of that. Peaceful manifestation, wrathful manifestation, empowering manifestations, extensive manifestation, whatever is kind of beneficial to subdue, to help, to benefit the sentient beings who are on the path. And even historically, Tara was very common and very well-known meditational deities, even in India from very early. Of course, if you go to the sources, then they come from there are some sources come from the sutras, Buddha's own teachings, and that. But even in terms of historical, they found Taras, stone statues from the Nalandas, very early in India. Even in South India, there is the ruins of, stupas, monasteries. And in one of the places, again, they found Tara's stone statues. They found Tara's statue in Sri Lanka from the time when Mahayana was established there. Although it mentions also Nagarjuna. Nagarjuna was guided and supported by the Tara. And then, as I mentioned, Surya Gupta, I just mentioned, from the great Pandit and also Mahasiddhi from the Kashmir. He was around time at Chandagome. Chandagome is same as time as Chandrakiri. So not so long after Nagarjuna, Tara was also main deity of that Surya Gupta, and he wrote a lot about Tara. He compiled many practice and about Tara, and he also wrote many sadhanas and that, And then, so these are all in India early times. Okay. Adisha, main deity was Tara. When he was requested to come to Tibet to help to establish or revive the Buddhism that has declined, and not only declined, has been kind of polluted. It's polluted because they have declined over the time. And when the king invited him to come, he was already in 70s. You can imagine in 10, 11 centuries going to Tibet, how long it will take from India, so low place, to some of the highest mountains. the language, the food, the weather, you know. And even he was, the monastery, Bikram Shila, where he was at that time. Bikram Shila is the second biggest university in India after Nalanda, you know. He studied in Nalanda and later he was in Bikram Shila, you know. And and the the senior monks, the monks wouldn't allow him to go there. They needed there. They needed here. But he was very touched by how much sacrifice those Dharma king at that time made in Tibet to revive the Dharma. He was very touched by how much hardship they went through in order to invite him to revive the Dharma. And because of that, his incredible compassion, despite that, you know, he was thinking of going, you know. And so he wasn't sure, you know, what will be more beneficial in long terms. And so he relied on Tara. Asked the Tara because that was his main deity, and he has the vision of Tara and said, would it be beneficial for me to go to Tibet? The answer he received was, it will be great beneficial, but your lifespan will be reduced by 10 years. That was the answer he got. It will be extremely beneficial to go there, but your lifespan will be less. You know, your lifespan will reduce by 10 years. And because if it's going to be beneficial, even his lifespan will be less. He was willing to go. He made the journey, and the teaching that we receive is because one of the kindness of Adisha being in Tibet. You know, he was one of the very instrumental for us to continue to receive those teachings. So it was Adisha's, also meant at the very beginning, when he didn't have the direct visions, you know, he was in Bodh Gaya circumambulating the stupas, you know. And then he was thinking and in his mind and asking, what is the most important and quick way to achieve enlightenment? You know, what is the most quick way and most important to achieve enlightenment quickly? And then he saw there was two ladies, elderly and younger, discussing and saying, oh, you know, cultivating bodhisattva is the most fastest way to achieve enlightenment. And then that one of the lady disappeared. So it is the Tara. And they said that there is one Tara statue in Bodh Gaya, in the main statue on one part. Some people said that was it says it dissolved into that statue of that, you know, disappear and dissolve. And so people kind of make a homage to that. I don't know whether that was the exact Tara that's mentioned in the history or not, but some people think that was the Tara. You can see there too. So anyway, and later, you know, then he has the vision in that, and he rely on Tara very much, you know. So I think again, probably Adisha has also a big role in making Tara so strong in Tibetan Buddhism, you know. Like all the Himalayan regions, whether in Tibet, Nepal, Bhutan, you know, many parts of the India, Mongolia, and so forth, where there's everyone's Tara and Avalokiteshvara Cherisik. Even the young children know their mantras. Everyone know about them. You know, they regard it like the father and the mother. You know, even the very young childrens. You know, everyone's know the mantras of Tara and Avalokiteshvara. Not only that, most Tibetans and those Himalayan, even they don't know how to read it, they will have memorized 21 Tara phrases, many of them, most of them. My mom doesn't know how to read it, but she memorized many prayers, many practice, one line by one line. When you go home, she will ask to repeat one line, and she keep on memorizing, and then the next line. Sometimes she will listen. Later, when she record, she will listen again and again, and then she until she passed away, she didn't know how to read it, but she memorized all the practice prayers, and she did. And those like 21 Tara prayers is one thing that most Tibetans or Himalayan region they will also have recited and they know by the heart. And so and if you pay notice, you know, I don't know how much you pay, and if you know, His Holiness Dalai Lama's always also, you know, advice is very much rely on Tara. You know, when we had COVID, when people ask what kind of practice, what we should do, one of the advice is to do the Tara practice to clear the whatever obstacles that might be. Recite the Tara mantra and practice the Tara, rely on Tara. You know, and that is advice that when there is some kind of challenges, difficulties on global levels, when students or people ask him what practice we should do to kind of to clear those challenges, problems, sufferings. And one of the most common advice is Tara, you know. And so again, yeah. So I guess maybe that is a little bit on Tara. Okay. Probably we can talk more later, you know, more specifically. So I think today I'm going to lead a practice before we, you know, even though we don't have so much time, but I think, and yeah, okay. And I might not do the full practice that we have in the book because of the time. As I mentioned on Wednesday class and many other times, when you do practice, it can be extensive, it can be short, it can be very short. So you just can kind of, you know, adapt to the time and all of that. Okay. Okay. So yeah, practice. Hmm. So will someone share? Are they sharing? Okay. Okay. So again, just try to quiet your mind and bring your mind in moment present by watching the breath mindfully for a few seconds. And then you can think, the purpose of my life is to help and benefit all sentient beings. And the most greatest help and benefit we can do to all sentient beings is to help them to overcome and eliminate the root of all the sufferings, which is the contaminated karma and the delusions. And all the obscurations. And to be able to help them to achieve all the spiritual realizations and achieve fully awakened state. There is nothing more helpful, beneficial than to be able to help them to do that. And to be able to help them to do that, we ourselves need to achieve fully awakened state. Therefore, I'm going to achieve fully enlightened state. I'm going to try as much as I can to achieve that fully enlightened state of the Mother Dara, to be able to achieve all the qualities of the Mother Dara to be greatest help benefit. For that very reason and purpose, I'm going to engage in this Dara practice. So then you can imagine, visualize, in front of you, your enemy, someone you dislike, have a problem. On the right hand side, the father, mother, and the back, the stranger. And then surrounding them, all sentient beings, as vast as the space. Whole space filled with all sentient beings of 6 grams in a human form, together with you. And then visualize, the Mother Tara in the space in front of you. Again, you try to just visualize as much as you can. Even if you cannot visualize clearly, just think it is there as is described. Radiant green light body, and very beautiful. Sitting on the multicolored lotus. On top of the lotus, the mundis. Her left foot drawn in, like when we sit in meditation. And her right foot out, resting on little multicolored lotus. Her left foot drawn in indicate her complete and effortless control over desired energy, and her right foot out indicate her willingness and capacity to get up and act for sentient beings. She represents the power to act, to cut through the problem, to get things done, to remove all the obstacles. Imagines her as beautiful as possible, young, radiant, full of energies, full of bliss. She wears the colors, silken garments, and jewelry on her ear, ankles, arms, and neck. And you imagine and think that she is the manifestation of your guru or the lama. In essence, is your guru, your lama, root guru, but in the form of green Tara. And it is their mind manifesting in this aspect of green Tara for your own benefit. You also think that green Tara embody all the Buddha's enlightened activities. Therefore, she embodied all the Buddhas. So all the Buddhas manifesting also in that form to help benefit the sentient beings. So try to feel oneness and inseparable of the Guru, the Green Tara, Green Mother Tara, and all Buddhas. And she also, Mother Tara, also encompasses the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha all in one. So, try to think, contemplate on the suffering of all sentient beings. How all sentient beings, just like yourself, even though they want happiness, they struggle to have true happiness. Everyone, just like yourself, even though you wish to be happy and not struggle to find happiness. In same way, even you do not wish suffering, even the smallest suffering. But just like yourself, they are also experiencing problem, suffering, and pain all the time. No one is free from the suffering. All these sentient beings in the samsara, we all are in the same boat. Try to understand, try to feel the pain and suffering of others, just like yourself. Especially the pain and suffering of those whom we dislike. They are not different than us. They are just like us. And they suffer just like us. With that understanding of the contemplating, try to generate strong wish to free oneself and all sentient beings from all the suffering and cause of suffering. And the faith in, in Guru, Lama Grintara, Mother Tara, that she has the capacity, the ability to help us, to support us, to inspire us, to guide us, to bless us, to free ourselves, all sentient beings, from all the suffering and cause of suffering. So try to develop that strong trust confidence and faith in the Mother Dharma, who is also the Buddha Dharma Sangha form. With that strong feeling, then we recite this refuge in Bodhicitta. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By merit from giving and other perfections, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By my merit from giving and other perfections, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Sangye chedan soki chonam la chanchu padu dani kyapsu che dagi jin sogi be sonam ki dola penje sangye dupa. Then we do the four immiscible. Again, as we recite slowly, try to feel that as much as possible by, again, remembering all sentient beings in the samsara surrounding ourselves. May all sentient beings have happiness and causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and causes of suffering. May all sentient beings never be separated from the happiness that knows no suffering. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free of attachment and hatred for those held close and distant. So then I'm making a little bit complicating. If you go at page number 9, go into the page 21 Tara, and before that there's invocations. Is it on? Okay. Yep. Yeah. Okay. From your supplying abode at the Potala, Potara born from the green later thumb, your crown adorned with Amitabha, action mothers of the Buddhas of 3 times. Tara, please come with your attendant. The gods and demigods bow to your lotus feet, O Tara. You who rescue all who are destitute. To you, the Mother Tara, I pay homage. I think I'm going to the shorter versions. So 21 Tara, the shorter, page number 15. Today here. Yeah. Om, I prostrate to the goddess for destroyer, liberating Lady Tara, homage to the Tare, salvation heroine, with Tare dispelling all fear, granting all benefit with Ture. So to her with the sound Soha I bow. Om Chom Den De Ma La Mo Do Ma La Cha Sa Shaza Doma Tari Pe Mom Tu Tarai Jikun Se Ma Turi Tuna Tamche Te Ma So Wa Iki Chen La Ra Pu Om I prostrate to the goddess for destroyer, liberating Lady Tara, homage to the Tare, severest heroine, with the Tutare dispelling all fears, granting all your benefit with Ture, to her with the crown Soha I bow. So then we go to the 7 limb. So whoever is sharing screen, I'm giving you a job, big job. What is the page number? Page number 4. No, yeah, backside of the 5. No, on three, sorry. Yeah, 7 limb. Yes, okay. I process reverently with my body, speech, and mind. I present clouds of every type of offering, both actually arranged and mentally emanated. I confess all my negative actions and downfall collected from beginner's time. I rejoice in the virtues of ordinary beings and Arya. Please remain until the end of cyclic existence and turn the wheel of Dharma for transmigrated beings. I rejoice my own and others' virtues to the great enlightenment. This ground, enervated with perfume, strewn with flowers, adorned Mount Meru, four continents, the sun and the moon. I imagine this a Buddha field and offer it. Enjoy this pure land. Idam Guru Rana Menda Akam Niyataya. So then I think page number 7, just a mantra. So again, we visualize at the heart of the Mother Tara, on top of the moon disk, in the center, there is a palm ladder, syllable, green, and then surrounded by green Tara mantras, Tari Tu Tari Tu Riso, all kind of standing and in like a light and like a crystal that you can see the back, And so again, we try to remember that syllable tam and the garland mantra Tari Tu Tari Tu Soha. Again, in that letter and making that sound. And that syllable, the mantra letter itself, is not just an ordinary syllable, it's the enlightened, compassionate wisdom in that form of that letter. The sound is also, not just ordinary sound, but again, compassionate wisdom sound in the form of that sound. As we recite Tara mantras, from that the garlands of mantra and thumb syllables, white light and nectar flow, into yourself and all sentient beings, and then like taking shower, cleansing and purifying all the illness, spirit harm, all the negative karma, all the delusions, obscurations, especially all the negative karma that we have created in this life and all past through our body, physical behavior and body that hurt and harms other sentient beings. So while keeping that visualizations as much as we can, we recite Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Soha. 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 Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re So. Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Soha. 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 So imagine, visualize with total convictions, like taking a shower or flushing the toilet, with that all strong energy of that nectar and blissful nectar and light, enlighten that light, completely cleanse and purify all the physical, emotional illness, especially the physical illness, and all the spirit harm, all the negative karma, especially all the negative karma that we have created through the physical behavior, body, being completely clean, purified, as well as all the delusion or obscuration that influence us to create those negative karma, completely clean, purified, become like crystal clear, and strongly planted in our heart, in our body, the imprint of the Vajra body to transform our body into enlightened body. As we recite more, again, more white light and nectar flow and purify all the sickness, spiritual harm, all the negative karma, especially negative karma that we have created through speech, that harms others in oneself in this life and all the future life, such as through using harsh words, divisive words, lying and so forth, being completely purified, as well as the delusion and obscuration that influence us to engage in such unwholesome speech, being completely cleansed and purified. Again, while keeping that strong visualizations, again, we recite Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Soha. 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 Om Dare 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 Tu Re. Om Dare Tu Re So. Om Tu Re Soha. Om Tu Re Soha. Imagine, visualize with total convictions all our illness, spirit harm, negative karma, especially negative karma created with our speech, and the delusions and obscuration completely cleanse, purify, totally gone, not even a trace of that. Become like crystal clear. And they receive the blessings of enlightened speech which is every speech, every word that comes out of our mouth is helpful, beneficial, virtuous, benefiting others. And a strong imprint left in our mind of Vajra speech to achieve enlightened speech, fully enlightened speech. So again, while we do some more, we visualize same way, and especially the negative karma that we have created through the mind is being created and purified completely, which is covetousness, ill will feeling, and wrong view, and so forth. Our ego, ignorance, and especially if we have sudden emotional or mental things, that we need to deal with, that we are having a problem with that, especially that being completely cleansed and purified. Whether it could be sense of, too much anxiety, worry, it could be resentment, you know, it could be fearful, it could be self-doubt, whatever that mental state that we are dealing with, especially that has been completely purified and cleansed. So try to visualize that. Om Tare Tu Re Soha. 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 Om 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 Tare Tu Tare Tu Re So. Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re So. Imagine, visualize with total convictions all our illness, spirit harm, all the negative karma, especially negative karma created through the mind, and all the delusion, obscuration being completely cleansed, purified. No even the trace. And especially whatever emotion that we are dealing now in the present time that is bothering us, especially focus on that negative emotions has been totally cleansed, purified, eliminated, flushed out completely. And the receiving the blessing of enlightened body and leading a strong imprint to achieve that enlightened body, enlightened mind. So enlightened mind, the Buddha, and receiving, limitless, unconditional love, compassion, bodhicitta mind, wisdom, courageous competence, and all the power activities, skillful means to be greatest help, benefit to each and every sentient beings. So then, as we recite more, visualize from the, again, receiving more enlightened light and nectar and cleansing, purifying all the illness, spirit harm, all the negative karma, especially negative karma that we have created through all three doors, and all the delusion, obscuration completely being cleansed and purified. So try to keep that visualization. Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re So Ha. 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 Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re So. Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re So Ha. 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 Again, imagine, visualize with total convictions, like taking a shower or flushing the toilet, all our illness, spiritual harm, and cause of all the suffering and illness, all the negative karma that we have created with body, speech, and mind. And all the distractive negative mind, afflicted emotions, obscuration being completely cleansed, purified. not even any trace of that. Not even the term, the name of negativities. Totally clear, clean. And receive the blessing of the union of holy body, speech, and mind of the Mother Tara, Guru Mother Tara. That every physical behavior, actions that we do, every expressions, every movement, is beneficial, helpful. Just by looking at that, it gives them so much peace. It helps them to overcome whatever negative feeling they are dealing, soothing, calming all these negative feelings. Every word, every speech that we make comes from our mouth is virtuous, helpful, beneficial. Every thought, every feeling, every mind that arises is only the mind of wanting to help, benefit, compassion mind, loving kindness, bodhicitta mind, supported by the right wisdom. And with that compassion and wisdom, the right ability, the means to help benefit according to the need of each and every sentient beings. The ability to act and to be help, benefit. And then we can imagine, Guru, Mother Tara, dissolve into the light dissolve into yourself. And your more subtle body, speech, and mind, and Mother Tara's holy body, speech, and mind become one, inseparable, as well as your Guru's body, speech, and mind become one, inseparable. So just focus on the oneness and inseparable of the Guru, the deity, and your own enlightened body, speech, and your own most subtle body, speech, and mind become one, inseparable. On that fundamental basic level, your mind and Buddha's mind is no different. On that fundamental basic level, your speech and Buddha's enlightened speech, Tara's and the Guru's speech is no different. Same with your subtle body. So try to generate a strong sense of confidence in your own potentials. That is who we really are. That is our fundamental nature. All others are just temporary. Okay, so then we do the dedications. Page number 16. No, I can do it. Yeah, page number 16 from the practice. Okay. Due to the merit of these virtuous actions, may I quickly attain the state of Aryatara and lead all living beings without exception into that enlightened state. May the supreme jewel Bodhisattva that has not arisen arise and grow, and may that which has arise and not diminish, but increase more and more. Long life prayers. In the land encircled by snow mountains, you are the source of all happiness and good, all powerful, chanting, experiencing Yaso. Please remain until samsara ends. You who uphold the superior moral way, who serve as a bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, spreading the manju not victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplished magnificent prayer, honoring three sublime ones, Savior of myself and others, your disciple, please return swiftly. So, yeah, we will stop here today. Thank you very much, everyone. And of course, today I didn't have time for questions, but I will take tomorrow. Okay, if anyone has any questions, please, you can bring tomorrow. I will say, I cannot guarantee I will have answer. Okay, but if something I know, then I can answer. If not, then we can discuss. Thank you. Good night. Thank you. Thank you.